got to take myself away from all these things that hurting me. You're still taking what's not yours. Greedy though you got more. Switching on me now, snitching on me now. Picking up dirty attitudes. What's your future then? I'm not sure. Now you lurk on every corner, trying to make $1 from them quarters. Thought you were my friend, even helping hand. Proved to be my enemy, you can't even trust anyone. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real. Now waste no time on you, not behaving yourself up in a crime on you. Now there's a fine in you. Now tell me what you can do. When I'm talking not to want you to see. Stupid things you do, I just can't believe. Seems you don't know what you really need. Take it, remember like your reason sounds sweet. I was there to motivate you. Seems you don't appreciate it. What is it that generate you to do the bad things to do? I really hate it. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real. The world is getting dangerous. Sickness and disease are very contagious. All these bad things happening just ain't for us. God help us out, can you pray for us? I've got to protect my life. I've got to love myself. My heart cries within me. Love and respect, that's what you should be giving me. When you hate each other, you don't know what you're doing to me. If I allow this corruption, it's only ruining me. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real. I've got to take myself away from all these things that's hurting me. I've got to make my life so free. Seems you don't want nothing good for real.
Give thanks. Give thanks, artists. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks to the artists.
So, what? No, I'm going to take my teeth. Yeah, man, so already can't run it. Yeah, man. We have video proof, we have picture, we said that's it. Alright. Now make this lead back to me or something. But then we find so many things. Me own alien, na me own alien, so the boy can't style me. Na me own alien, yeah. Me no frightened feelings, no start to me thing. I mean not just some boy cause them me pass me drinks. And if me no rate, I mean no pull on your people, me no want me no leave. Cause me know if you load. If me can't buy a split, much less see buy a drinks. Never grew up feeble boat. I'm born as a fuck, so my mother never grew a win. Me no frightened to be people, no frightened to be people. No some people, I be frightened to be me. Just I eat me in the street and me all that night, mother they read Bible to me. Me no love likes. They never tell her before, say pressure bus fight. Pick up a can't manage your enough life. Better you suffer the consequence cause you love hype. Actually, me staying on me own and laying on me own and game, so no guy can style me. Staying on me own and laying on me own and game, so no guy can style me.
Give thanks. Artists. Same way. Yeah, man. Give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. Give thanks and praise. With the principal source creditor, don't insult our intelligence, nor perplex our tranquility. Principal source creditor, claim of right and access to estate trust properties held by the Fide commissary, custodians, on paper. So not take offense out there. Gurus, don't take offense. Yeah, man, this is just putting our thoughts on paper from, a plethora of information where we kind of look at. So we say an affidavit pursuant to the Public Constitutional Office of Trust. 1. That all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. And the author there from 1788. 2. That the government public constitution, which includes the Bill of Rights, is a public trust that is constitutionally binding upon all public officers, elected and or appointed by way of their public oath of office made under penalty of perjury to uphold said government public constitution. Number 3, that the birth registration form as the certification of vital record is a sophisticated financial instrument based on treasury securities and also evidencing the creation of a legal person and legis or titled estate. I'm going to put my name, the Linton O'Neill Dallas, and you have a number attached to that named titled estate with an attaching treasury registration numbered account, electronic identification number, EIN. I'm going to place a number there because these numbers will match up with the documents that we have. Escrow identifier, QSIT number, and this is for the primary instrument. For use, escrow identifier, QSIT number, for use in the commercial banking book entry system by all corporations. So as to, let's see, what is this improvement? All right, we can't work with that. We'll go on here. All corporation to interface with the man, the principal source creditor. And you see my name right there. That's the name of them having them database. My new appellation, not necessarily a signature. My autograph. Who is separate and distinct from the legal person, which the legal person is there with the number attached to it. And this is called the separation of entities, the living man from the dead paper. Now again, this is just from our thought process we are put on paper, and as we go along, we make adjustment while we learn some things, but this is for our basic people on the island here. We say we are West Indians. We say we located in the Great Antilles. We can claim Antillian. Yeah, man. And when them say America, we never have an issue. When them say United States, we never have an issue. We don't mind being specific, not just the general terms. So again, no disrespect to the gurus out there. We just have put our own thoughts on paper. I go down to number 4, that the taxes and or charges applies only to the legal person, i.e. titled estate, and its attaching treasury account, identified by its EIN, electronic identification number. It can be a foreign, you know what I mean? But I not forgot through all of that. Why? Because them thing is already constructed. So right now we just have to do the basic. For walk my people through the basic. This is not for the elite. So the gurus have to truly excuse us. You know what I mean? And please don't insult our intelligence. No, we can't get rowdy if we choose, you know. Number 5, that the Labor Code, General Orders number 100 by Abraham Lincoln, 24th March 1863, Section 2, Article 31, 5(1)(a), which state, a victorious army appropriates all public money, seize all public movable properties until further direction by its government, and sequester for its own benefit or that of its government all revenues, all them say revenues of real property belonging to the original, belonging to the hostile government or nation, which usually are the original folks. The title to such real property remains in abeyance during military occupation and until the conquest is made complete. So the Labor Code was one of them international law documents where deal with, the issues arising from wars. And here we have, the construct show you say, boy, them as a victorious army, well, they make a statement that way, so we can deduce from this. And I'm a dunce boy thing, I'm sorry, So this will go over most of our people's head. It's not a dumbo thing where you look on some picture and you get some news clip and or you listen to some people and give them opinion. We have our own point of view. We have our own opinion. Yeah, man, and it shall be respected. Yeah, when I say me, we say shall. So all we do is put the thoughts on paper so we can, evaluate it. And make a correction, make a amendment, make a update and upgrade, and we just push forward. Because we already put a power of attorney out there in regards to the very same legal person, which is separate and distinct from the principal source creditor. You know what I mean? The man. Yeah. So it's just a little subtle approach. And when we make them approach, we don't mind, being corrected, standing corrected, when one can show certain things to say, yeah, another way there, or this way, then we can work with it. But we don't have no school where I teach these things. So we have to choose to apply ourselves, and we don't necessarily just want to listen to No other guys out there just run them out like, them are alien from somewhere else. Just show us the information so we can be able to deduce for ourselves and arrive at some kind of conclusion where we can express ourselves logically. You know what I mean? So when we are pushed forward with philosophical reasoning, then we can back it up with logic. Hence, we are bring forth this kind of information. You know what I mean? Placing our thoughts on paper. Again, listen, we are the neophytes here. We are the newbies. We are the beginners. You understand? Totally and completely receptive to learning. However, when I mind to express ourselves. So we say, number 6, that the Organic Act established the U.S. Department of Labor was signed on March 4th of March, 1913 by a reluctant President William Howard Taft, the defeated and departing incumbent just hours before Woodrow Wilson took office. I will put a location where one can scrutinize these things. And even when you scrutinize this very document, we are talking about the Organic Act, we established the U.S. Department of Labor. You're going to see where the 1917 Act, Trading with the Enemy Act, come into play, number 7. Yeah, man. Number 7, that this chapter shall be known as the Trading with the Enemies Act. 6 October 1917, and you have the public law. We have said that. So now we have said who and what is the enemy. And even at this definitions, because we not scrutinize it as much, we just have, barely start, brush on the surface of things. So the word enemy, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean for the purpose of such trading and of this chapter. And you have A, B, C, and we'll put C in there where it says such other individuals or body or class of individuals as may be natives, citizens, or subject of any nation with which the United States is at war other than citizens of the United States. Here, how them I use the United States? Wherever resident or wherever doing business as the president, if he shall find the safety of the United States or the successful prosecution of the war shall so required. The item can check out this thing. Look at the definition of the United States now. The word United States, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean all land and water, continental or insular, in any way within the jurisdiction of the United States, or occupied by the military or naval forces thereof. So yeah, so when them say continental or insular, that would include the little island them where them are claim. But when they talk about continental or insular, that are going to include all these islands over here. Why? Because you have an organization of American states, which Jamaica is a member, active member. So them information that people have to just choose to apply themselves to get it. Now, in this very same document, 7.3, the word person as used herein shall be deemed to mean an individual, partnership, association, company, or other unincorporated body of individual or corporation or body politic. All of these terms can mean a person or does mean a person as used within this corporate construct. And this is a federal law that goes straight across the board. Yeah, man. And next word, the word bank or banks as used therein shall be deemed to mean and include national bank, state bank, trust companies, or other banks, or banking association doing business under the laws of the United States or any state of the United States or of any state of the United States. The word to trade as used therein shall be deemed to mean, again, the word to trade, pay, satisfy, compromise, or give security for the payment or satisfaction of any debt or obligation. So to trade, A would be to pay, to satisfy, to compromise, or give security. Listening, remember we said, boy, everything is negotiation. So when you hear a man say, oh, we have an arbitration clause, arbitration is synonymous with negotiation. And this is why I'm going to tell people, say it's necessary for us to ascertain the meaning and definition of the words being used. We don't have to be a top scholar to do these things. We just have to apply ourselves. We don't have to go join up with nobody and, have nobody I feel like, say, boy, them can lead a leader. Them can teach a teacher. Yeah, man. But so we just know, say, we are the student, we humble ourselves. So now we just choose to put our own thoughts on paper according to the information what we come across. Yeah, man. So forgive our intrusion. However, please do not insult our intelligence. Don't do that. Don't do that. So them said B, the word trade mean draw, accept, pay, present for acceptance or payment, or endorse any negotiable instrument or choice of action or choice in action. C, enter into or enter, carry on, complete, or perform any contract, agreement, or obligation. It means any. Yeah, man. To trade. D, buy or sell, loan or extend credit, trade in, deal with, exchange, transmit, transfer, assign, or otherwise dispose of or receive any form of property. To have any form of business or commercial communication or intercourse with. So all of these from A to E means what it is to trade according to the federal construct. So it's a step-by-step process, my people. Yeah, man, and an overnight success. Now we touch on number 8, where it says that on 9 March 1933, House Joint Resolution number 9192-10 by the 73rd Congress was voted into law. That's public law, what's that? 7310, which is the Emergency Banking Act. So this is why we bring these things forward. And that's a number 9, that the executive order of the 5th April 1933 took the gold out of circulation, creating the credits on the credit side of the United States government ledger, or on the government's ledger. Now, for be specifically the United States. while Public Law 73-10, Chapter 48, Stat 112 at Title 12 USC 41 of June 5th, 1983, creating the exemption on the debt or debit side of the government ledger, is issued to balance the exchange, to recredit the people, and is our insurance policy or bond, well, to stave off execution of law, which allow it to pass over us for our benefit. All of them things I can adjust according to how we are look on these things. And then we are set on June 5th, 1933, the U.S. Congress abrogate the gold standard in a House Joint Resolution, same thing, which formally required the obligation of the United States or the obligation of the government would be exchanged by the Department of the Treasury by gold or silver coins of the same denomination and replace it with the current standard, which provides that obligation shall be discharged upon payment / consideration, dollar for dollar, in any coin or currency which at the time of payment is legal tender for public and private debt. For public and private debt, not for public and or private debt, for public and private debt. So right here, so them mix the public with the private, irrespective of what people are choose to say out there. The law, which was afforded as constitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court, or them again the law there. I don't know if I'm going to post this thing here publicly. Really, because this are just my views I put on paper. And them as a Public Law 73-10 remove the people's liability to make all payments by making a contract null and void if it required the payment to be in substance or debt, because the people don't have any money to pay with, or you should say lawful money per se. But again, when you're a free man, this is how you have to view it. View it like a slave, where I say, oh, we have Federal Reserve note and thing, and slave for use Federal Reserve notes, and let's go get our Federal Reserve notes. No. More there, them show the people them how to attain the $3 trillion if them so choose. And them can give away all and keep 30 trillion, and then just keep that 30 trillion to themselves. And then ask everybody else to pay. While I say anytime I liquidate a piece of property and have some credits in my hand, my people, we are God choose for walk this kind of road. Now go off here so them need anything. Yeah, because all documentation I got created from this office and provided to our people. But the people them have to, that's a qualify themselves. But just run in and gain access. And all of these things are just a process. And when we say process, it's a free man process, where we approach the thing accordingly. We are no scholars here. We weren't trained by anyone. Remember, grassroots, Greenwich Farm Ghetto, that's where we rise from. Tivoli Garden Comprehensive High School. You get me? That are the highest formal education. Everything else are self-taught, autodidactic. Proud of it. Yeah, so go easy. If now we choose to place our thoughts on paper according to a plethora of information that is out there. Yeah, man, we keep it simple. Again, not, no insult we intelligence, man. All of the things them what them I say, we not dispute it. We just say the approach. It's just the approach. Yeah, man. And we are show you the date. We are show you from them I start with them thing. March 1933. We start from up in a March 1863. Then we come to the 4th of March 1913. Then we come to the 6th of October 1917. Then we come down to the 9th of March 1933. Then we get to the 5th of April 1933. Then the 17th of April 1933. This is when the Senate document number 43, Senate resolution number 62, page 9, paragraph 2, 17th of April 1933, where it says the ultimate ownership of all property is in the state. Individual so-called ownership is only by virtue of government, i.e. law, amounting to mere use, and use must be in accordance with law and subordinate to the necessities of the state. Well, we have a document where we're not necessarily, I said, the state, like what I said, the public interest. You understand? Because really, we are dealing with a public document. That all that must be done now is to discharge the liability. That's all. So when someone say we have to jump through a hoop and create this and fill out all kind of form, I say, okay, we don't have a problem with that. But if I'm looking at what is, then, I don't think we need all of that, because we already, as I have shown, it's just the item if you have the information. We have a bond certificate here on our island. It's different from the mainland. Why I say Fide commissary? Because we're there a governor under the British. And when you research Fide commissary, you're going to find that the Fide commissary is just one of them fancy names that they says to KV. So now we're going to remove ourselves from with hereditament, with inheritance, with birthright. We don't have a problem with the Federal Reserve note and them system, but what we are saying, our thing is above that, predate that. So we have to approach it a little bit different as principal source creditor. Now we have the people and most of them are secure party creditor. Well, we can't comprehend that. But again, that's our thoughts on paper. Because as a principal on the source, that means that any trust out there, I must be the trustor. You get me? Yeah, man. And the beneficiary have to be on my side. So the trustee have to be out there, meaning the government. Because them are secure the public trust. Them really have access to the account. Them know all of the accounting. Them know the financial information. All them require from I, as principal source creditor, is I acceptance, acknowledgement, endorsement, and return. This is the point of view where we are trying to get at, keeping it simple, because we already have everything in place. Everything Babylon already set up in place. And people say, oh, the government created. So yes, then who is the government? Does not the people make the government? Does not the people create the body politic and delegate a little of their authority? Not all. In order for collective security. This is why they have a public government constitution. God, that's supposed to secure the welfare, the well-being of all ones and the birth registration form. As the certification of vital record. When we talk, people say it might be this or that, but to scrutinize our birth registration form, and you're going to find say it's a certification of vital record, meaning certification of live birth. That's the only instrument will have any value. That's the only registered security instrument where, you know, you have a treasury account attached to with an electronic identification number by way of whether social security, EIN, or any one of these things. But again, it's just our thoughts. As we move along, we improve, adjust, and, you know. But I like the approach, yeah. I like the information where we are look at. Yeah, man. I like when we get down to all them parts where it show you, say, watch ya. That pursuant to public law 7310, the government must provide the means of payment. Why? Because they remove the substance from circulation and replace it with paper. Therefore, if you didn't get a check with their demand for payment, you see it? If you didn't get a check with their demand for payment, and that's why I hear me say, because I know exactly what I look on. Their order for payment needs to be returned for they fail to give you appropriate cost for production. What the public law did was remove the liability of an obligation by making it against the law to pay debt or debts with debt. All that one needs to be, all that needs to be done now is to discharge or offset the debt with an appropriate credit, dollar for dollar, or exchange the bill for the bond or the past liability for the future liability, thus passing over the present liability of the note. What may I try to say? There is so much different way if you approach this thing, but people behave like, because I have a big platform and, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years, then my way have to be it. Watch me now. I say salute, no have a problem. But if my spirit, this ancestral spirit, this anciency, do not resonate, then I can't move. I have to create my own path. I have to draw for my shit and step forward. No different from when I chose to travel. And everybody said, can't be done. This and that and whatnot. And me, I said, no, man, if them a deal with law, then see law, yeah. We not chat about just some sideway policy created by some attorney. The moment there's a public trust and I have what is called a birth registration form or a certification of vital record that give me what is known as a shareholding stock. Because I hold on upon the piece of paper which is the bond paper. And I personally access that, that's a FIDI commissary area and ascertain certain information. That's why I can't throw a QSIT number up there. I'm aware you need 3 numbers. Yeah, man, because the birth registration form name, that all caps name, all 3, represent a title to an estate with an attaching, that's a trust fund account, put it that way. And that is just our point of view. And I like say, boy, are we correct with this or we correct with that? But as I said, we are trying to bring some logic to this reasoning by showing and sharing our thoughts on paper. Yeah, man. So go easy. Go easy. And on a dumbo thing. And we are choose to apply ourselves. Now, Pursuant to Public Law 7310, the government must provide the means of payment. Therefore, if them not send you a check with their demand, like if my service provider, the water commission company, send me a check, send me you call a documentary draft, and if there's not a check attached to it, then it's not valid because them not provide the required means of payment. Them just make the slave think, say, boy, if you don't have money, rare, or hey, if you say cash, rare, or you sign some kind of contract, rare, when you never know how it can be a contract. No, man, some kind of agreement we can always cancel, adjust, upgrade, or amend. And when I say public officers out there, I have first-hand knowledge. You get me? When I talk to these people, I'm going to say, are you not my public servant? These people said to me, Mr. Dallas, yes, we are your public servant. And them say it gently. Like them I say, yeah, but you know, if you go on so, you know, if you know, bully the thing. Now, as my public servant, you get me, which are public officers, when you want to be proper, gratitude to my learned sister. Yeah, we're resident magistrate, we call them judge out here. For that, you just say correction. When you say, just call them public officers, because they're all officers of the, yes, the court. And when you want to get anything done, you have to approach them in them original jurisdiction. Listen to what me I talk. It's a little bit coded. And when you step to the original jurisdiction and present a certain kind of claim, then ones will take notice. But before you do all of that, you have to lay some foundation in preparation. This is why when we get psychological evaluation, I was released. I was sent home. Why? Because after the evaluation, then there is no need for hold me, or unless it's a conspiracy. That's the only reason. And again, I'll use Leonard Percival Howell as a prime example, as the principal example, as the paramount example. Them things that me I talk about. So the ones them we have ears for ear, make them hear, but this is us I come from the rock this way. Yeah, man, this is us. I come from this island where them I call Zamayaka, corporately known as Jamaica by the British Empire. So once them not send you a check, their order for money needs to be returned. Again, Public Law 7310. And so what Public Law 7310 did was remove the liability of an obligator, someone obligated to pay a debt, by making it against the law to pay a debt with debt, or to pay debts with debt. All that needs to be done now is to discharge, you know what I mean, discharge the debt with an appropriate credit, dollar for dollar or dollar for dollar, or exchange the bill for the bond. Again, exchange the bill for that legal entity there, that sophisticated financial instrument. You hear what I'm saying? Anyway, I could touch upon this. The note is the promise to deliver the offer. The one problem with the commercial society has it there is no money to even credit the account with, and because of that, we, the creators of the commercial products, are the credit, and the commercial society needs to adjust or balance their bookkeeping ledger. They need our acknowledgement or of having received the charges from them. In other words, they need our acknowledgement of having received the presentment or the charges or the taxes from them so they can discharge or offset their fiduciary duty, just like electric current. Otherwise, they have an aging account receivable that they cannot close without our endorsement as to the benefits that were provided. So I don't like them are doing a favor in the people. And them construct the thing this way is just how we approach it. So like how I view it as a neophyte. This is how it looked to me. But as we go along, I might get into some things where they might say, oh no, you have to become a slave and you can't do it that way because the slave's supposed to follow the rules. You understand? And the regulations and all of these things. So until I reach that point, right now I'm in a dead end. So right now we are calling it an hostile takeover, whether you like it or not. Or you can fancy it up and call it adverse possession. But watch me now. I am that principal. I am that source. And that make I that creditor. Whether secure or unsecured. You get me? We just cut to the chase. Mash it. Straight at it. And again, just our thoughts. Just our thoughts. On paper. Yeah, man. So when them say all them need is our acknowledgement of having received the charge or the tax or having received the presentment from them so they can discharge their fiduciary duty, just like electrical current. Otherwise, they have an aging account receivable that they cannot close without our endorsement as to the benefits that were provided. Now, when them said benefits, nothing wrong with that, because according to how them construct them law, we're supposed to be taken care of, because them say the welfare of the people. Not no welfare package where some boy I give some food stamp and these things. None of that. That's on the slave side. Why you think it's called a commonwealth? Why you think even on the mainland it's called a commonwealth? You have a commonwealth realm and commonwealth nations, commonwealth of nations. You understand? So why you think are just some foreign people for the wealthy and the original people, or what I'm calling common people, the domesticated people, should remain being a slave? Yeah, that's a free will choice. You can be slave if you choose. I say freedom. Free dominion. Free domain. Them thing that may say. So the guys that will have certain information and lock it up to themselves, then that's fine. But you can't tell me, say you ask the Federal Reserve note and accumulate 3 trillion credits. You're a fool, woman. You make a mockery of woman. And then you have a plausible deniability. Oh, I'm sick. I don't remember. I didn't, you know me. However, I salute that genius them out there, you know. Yeah, man, we salute the genius them out there, man. But, you know, on the outer order, if you don't feel like you can, you know, insult our intelligence. Yeah, man. Debt must be discharged dollar for dollar in the same sense as sin must be repented of as soon as it is incurred. An acknowledgement must be given. The moment a debt exists, it must be written off. We must take on the charge, take on the tax. Yeah, man. So we must take on the charge, take on the tax to allow them to discharge the account. And when we give them acknowledgement by our acceptance, they can now zero the account by grounding the charge back to where it come from. Yeah, man. And clean up their delinquently held open books of account. The catch is we cannot write off or charge off or discharge the debt because we are not in possession of the account, the treasury account, in deficit. Our fiduciary agent is in possession of the account, so we must provide them with the tax return or the charged return by the return of the original offer, by the return of the presentment, by the return of the original tax. So the fiduciary can discharge the liability through their internal revenue service, the bookkeeper. Yeah, man. We don't need to make payments that are acceptable to our fiduciaries, which would entail or infer that we made the offer. We should make the acceptance and return their offer as payment or consideration, accepted for value and payment, or accepted for value and consideration. Consideration can be synonymous with payment, just like negotiation is synonymous with arbitration. So irrespective of where you say are going with the court system and where, watch me, a judge in a them foreign court is an arbitrator, naturally. He is a fact finder, naturally. However, him wear two hats. Him have a public oath to the public trust made under penalty of perjury. And then him have a private oath to the private bar guild or the bar association that goes right back to the Inns Court. That's his private oath. So this is why when I go deal with them and I need to initiate contract, I invoke the public office because them sit in an office of trust, public trust. They also have an office of profit according to the Constitution. So you choose which side you're on. Again, just our thoughts being presented on paper. Open to rebuttal. Open to scrutiny. No problem here. Because we are students here. We are receptive to learning. This is why I say when I get a bill, I'm going to look on the bill. I'm going to scrutinize the bill. I'm going to smile because I say thank you. But I notice, my service provider not necessarily want to send a bill because the other day I send them a little note and thing and it look like it have them shook. However, them can't interact with a man like I if I so choose. Yeah, man. So one of the most important things going into this new era is that we have to zero the account and balance the books, and I'm glad I can do that. As that principal source creditor, living man. Why? Because a legal entity is only a piece of paper. It's a fiction. It can't do nothing without I. You know what I mean? As executor, appointing, you know what I mean? The correct officer for make moves for this estate. Simple thing in people. Just our thoughts on paper. Yeah, man. I really like it, because I see where I'm not alone in this kind of thought. Because I say if the guy them send me a document, them have to send with the means of payment. Oops, they did. Look at the tail end. That little dotted line across and the same information with the name and address and invoice number and account number and probably another receipt number, probably. That's where the check is. Now you need, well, I will detach that and endorse it, and may have some narrative where me secure, where me just place on it. And I think I personally want to return this, but I'm going to register mail it just to be on the safe side and maintain all the copies. And then I'm going to make sure I have as tender of payment. You understand? Now I'm going to have a reason for stepping on, the original jurisdictional court downtown and make some, demand. This is our approach. I kind of beg people things out there. You mad? You can't see people invade the space and area. You talk about compromise and bend over and come follow. No, we have said this is law. You follow the law. You're not above the law. You're not immune from the law. It's just that my people are scrambled, you know what I mean, to find law, or them confused with policy and legal process. But yeah, man. Or them energy, yeah, man. They made an offer by presentment. We did not make any offer. All we should do is only return that offer. Yeah, man, just accept and return it. See, it is the paper that is the collateral itself. Again, it's that registration form, that legal person, that enlegis, that sophisticated financial instrument. That's the paper where is the collateral itself, not the property described under public policy. The tangible property merely goes along with the owner of the paper, because substance or execution of a commodity cannot be used as a method of payment in this grace or public policy. Yeah, man. You can't use nothing substantive. So you have to just use paper and negotiate. But sometimes they must say, hey, you need standing. What? This is how I stand up. You get me? And when we place them information in a certain location, securing our certified copy, then come in your court now and challenge with. This is how we stand predominant. That's why I say I represent what it is to be free in this time. Yeah, man, it is I. Yeah, irrespective of whatever body I say out there. I ask the government of Jamaica now. Ask them about the things them what them hear me say and do. Go seek to get the minutes of my court presentments. Then I can talk. So I have to forgive we because our approach is a little bit unorthodox. And it will always be. Yeah. We are no subject of no public policy. Yeah, man, we present law. Yeah. Yeah, man. So again, people, let's see if I can touch upon anything else. Yeah. All right. 15. Most people feel that when the money or gold and silver was taken out of society, that the people became slaves. This is not true. The people were freed from every obligation that society could create, thus freeing the people from any obligation which they may incur simply because we cannot pay a debt. Ask yourself a question. What are you charging me with? where you tax me with, and how do you expect me to pay? There is no substantive money, only script money. Plain and simple for me to make the payment with, and on top of that, if I were to pay you, who is paying me to pay you? Yeah, man. And who is paying that guy and so on? Public law creator exemption in the commercial society, so long as we accept the charges, so long as we accept the taxes, so long as we accept the presentment. This is why now I take a different view on taxes. So I'm not a problem with tax, man. I'm no tax protester. I'm no tax, not at all. I know it's the only corporation pay tax. I am no corporation, but I may have a legal person which represent a registered organization which can be or may be construed as a corporation. Yeah, man, forgive we are butcher, you know, with words at time, but, you know, remember, you know, grassroots, self-taught, autodidactic. Yeah, man, free being, you know, free being, free man. So them way the people, you know. The birth registration form is a bond instrument, that sophisticated financial instrument in possession of the named whole and due course that can be used as payment or transmitting utility to offset a debt or discharge a charge. The corporation sent us a presentment in the form of a documentary draft with a check attached requiring an acceptance, endorsement, and return for their commercial bookkeeping ledger of accounting. Boy, may I tell you, that's our way that in people. Yeah, man. Just our way, you know. And we have to do it. Have to do it that way, there, you know. I'm going to get them a lower culture and close off this thing, you know. Give thanks for the time. Give thanks for the presence, you know. And again, just from our corner, our area of the rock, you know, where they might find it a bit surprising to see where I step up and I present our point of view, just our thoughts on paper. I was born to be free. Man, I was gangali. I was born to be free. Love culture, talk to them.
No man can decide my destiny. Only I can decide my own for me. Why? Because I'm a whole family. I want to be free from all chains and all bangles and ropes. Free from all bars and all borders and doors. Free to praise the Lord because me not praise the Pope. So I know you are wash your face with Babylon soap. Me a believe for faith, I think me a believe for hope. Life profile God, but we be a pick up. So take it on the level and to fly down the slope. And if river run deep, but gangali have to float. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali. No man a gangali. No man a gangster. I know I'm right, they will see. Say, me no come here so be joke, me no come here so be laugh. Me there up on a mission and me complete heart. Jah is my Lord, of course he is my star. If you love me, go, you have to accept the gap. Could I be little more, me get down instead of soft. Iniquity will call, I walk with straw. Them inject me body with cool, but me not up. Serious like all 50 just when I laugh.
Salute, my good brother. Acknowledgement, Ryan O'Neill Walters. Love all the name that. So you style the name. Yeah, the sovereign people style them name that way. That's what you call an autograph. Honor, my good brother. Gratitude for passing through. Yeah, man. Lowy culture, you know.
No man can decide my destiny. Only I can decide my own for me. Why? Cause I'm a whole gangali. I don't. I wanna be free from all chains and all bangles and ropes. Free from all bars and all borders and doors. Free to praise the Lord because me now praise the Pope. So I know you will wash your face with Babylon soap. Me a believe of it, nothing me a believe of hope. Life rough and hard, but we did me a pick up. So take it on the level and go fly down this slope. Silent river run deep, but gangali have to float. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali, gangali. No man a gangali, gangali. No man a gangstally, gangstally. I know what vibes they will see. Say, me not come here so be joke, me not come here so be laugh. Me dey up on a mission and me complete heart. Jah is my Lord, of course he is my star. If you love me, go, you have to accept the gap. Could I be little more, me get down instead of soft. Iniquity will call, I walk with straw. Them inject me body with cool, but me not up. Serious like all 50 just when I laugh. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I know what vibes they will see. Did I can't be let me gonna wanna be fly like a bird. Just send me out so me voice must be heard. I am the sheep and I am the shepherd. Try to be something now go happen, please not be heard. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I know what vibes they will see. Check original gangali, put up a fear and make me see. Southside spoilers and I'm not Tel Aviv. People garden and the spotless passy. What teacher love to the infinity. From your born to be free, you are out gangali, gangali. Numana gangali, gangali. Numana gangstali, gangstali. I know what vibes they will see. Say, I wanna be free from all chains and all bangles and ropes. Free from all bars and all borders and doors. Free to praise the Lord because me now praise the Pope. So I know you are wash your face with Babylon soap. Me a bully for fake, me a bully for hope. Life rough and hard, but we the king of the go. So take it on the level and some fly down the slope. Silent river run deep, but gangali have to flow. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali, gangali. I know what vibes they will see. Say, me no come here so to talk, me no come here so to love. Get up on a mission and we complete off. Jah is my Lord, of course he is my stuff. If you love me, go, you have to answer the gap. Would I be little when me get down instead of soft? Iniquity will fall, I walk with straw. Them inject me body with cool, but me not up. Serious like all 50 just when I laugh. I was born to be free. I'm a gangali, gangali. I'm a gangali. Gangali, gangali, gangali. I know what vibes they will see. Did I just be let me gonna wanna be fly like a bird. Just send me out so me voice must be heard. I am the sheep and I am the shepherd. When you me something now go happen, please mark me word. I was born to be free.
Honorable Lowy culture. Yes, sir. Honorable. Yeah, man, we have to say salute. Complete respect with power. Yeah, man. I hate that, you know, my people. I just have probably bounce to tune because, you know, that's your, yeah, man. And by extension, for all people with choose, because free will. Nothing to prove out here. It's a salute with respect and power to all ones and ones. We have that life spark within them, that God within them. Yeah, man. That, Buddha within the eye within them. So we used to salute straight across the board. But yeah, culture, Louis culture,
Hey, get this. A thousand shall fall at thy side and 10,000. God bless, no man curse. Trust me. And get this. Rudy don't fear, no boy. Rudy don't fear. All gangster don't fear. No boy, gangster don't fear. Rudy don't fear. Gangster don't fear. When I tell them, oh, could I rip the gangster and run off? Anyway you reach your brain, one phone call, done everything. That gangster is heartless. No guy should test every move gangster make. Everybody else say yes, he deal with progress, honor and no respect. If you're this smart, I got some, you pop your own and they come in up fear. No boy, Rudy don't fear. Get this. All gangster don't care. No boy, gangster don't care. I say Rudy don't fear. No boy, Rudy don't fear. All gangster don't fear. No boy, gangster don't fear. But tell them to go. I walk through the valley of the shadow of the gangster. Fear no evil. No, we no catch up.
Shabba Big ugly stinking Shabba. Salute. On the whole, them are that. Yeah, we have to say salute to the artist Shabba Ranks from that time until now. The man that never switch not bow. The man that never sell out the thing. The man that never drop them crown. And when them even blacklist, them man that still relevant. Yeah, big dirty stinking Shabba. And when Shabba said that sound way make girl want, Yeah, so that man that did expressive, just like when Ninja Man step through, Ninja Man go on with himself and people say, boy, I feel mouth I got drop off like Yellow Man. Because the people them forgot say Yellow Man was what them call a slackness DJ, man. And when they hear Yellow Man slackness, you have to say, what kind of slackness is that? You know what I mean? People can either improve or people just degrade themselves, Yeah, man. Just deteriorate. But one thing I know for a fact, people usually reflect the head of where the society I bring forward, and the people them just follow suit. So I say the head create the problem and then I try, create a solution. You have to remove that head with the problem so the solution can manifest itself naturally. Complete gratitude, people. Mustard seed, again, don't insult our intelligence, nor perplex our tranquility. Freedom, freedom in.